All right. Good morning, or whatever time of day it is for the YouTube crowd. How are you doing? Good to see ya. So we're doing a solstice stream. We're waiting for people to show up. Hey, it's Izzy. How are you doing? And I'm sure I know you, user 320 576 568 450. But good to see you. I might know you by a different name. How's it going? It's Izzy. How are you doing? 22KC, Sammy, Jose, how's it going, everybody? Morning, Mini VDM, how are you doing? I'm doing pretty well. I'm ready for this, the solstice. Deja, good to see ya. Good morning. Good morning. Happy solstice. So, I'm probably going to do something a little bit different today. I'll still do Q&A and stuff, but I wanted to do kind of like a general collective lead for read. Oh my gosh, the words. That's when I start to get in a channel mode, I'll trip up over my words at times. So, anyways, I'm gonna do a collective read, cleaning my closet. I think it's a good time to do that. Solstice, clean it out, change it up. Happy Sunday, Kiki, Kale. How are you doing? I'm doing pretty well. So I'm going to do a general read for the solstice, and then I'll also do Q&A. I'm going to wait till people kind of show up before I start the general reading. So if anyone has any general questions, or anything like that, I am going to kind of just to be upfront, and Deja, since you're here and you're a moderator, I'm gonna be answering the questions I'm guided to answer. So it hasn't been in order for a long time, but it's definitely not going to be in order. And so I want to start to put that that's more of like a thing to expect, is like these questions are not always going to be answered in order. Pretty much I'll just answer questions as I'm guided. So I'm going to do a little bit of Q&A, and then we're going to jump into general solstice read. And I have some like solstice celebration surprises as well. Only if that is good for anyone who's here. And then we'll just go from there. Shiny Diamond, hi, how are you doing? Ingrid Goosen, good to see you. How are you doing? Marciano King, good morning. I'm doing pretty well. How are you doing? I think I've seen you before. Good to see you. And if I haven't seen you before, hi. Ingrid Goosen, what does the wolf sign mean for you? Definitely instincts is a big one. It's also a spirit animal for you. I feel like it's helping you with your intuition, and I would definitely keep an eye out for like third eye openings. And crown chakra healing is something imminent for you. I think that's collective, actually, weirdly enough. It's like a crown chakra healing. I don't know what that's about, but that's what I'm hearing. But I feel like wolf is leading you to better, is what I'd say. Gigi Cillian, thanks for the follow. Did a stovetop cleanse? Yeah, it seems like a good cleanse. Interesting, Kiki, and I'll get to your question here in a second, that you talk about stovetop. Just because I have a coworker, and it's funny enough because I put my 2 weeks in at work. So today is my last day, the day of the solstice, funny enough. And then I'm doing readings full time, and I have more opportunity to build what I want to build because I have more time. Happy Father's Day, Boston12, good to see you. But a coworker was talking about, because I recently found out she was into this stuff, and we started talking. And she was talking about how there was a lot of like rain and like kind of thunderstorms here where I live, and it was kind of like cleaning out the stuff so that the solstice could bring in the new and like more peace. I really felt that my body pendulum was going yes. So I think that's something that's like cleaning just seems very synchronistic, is pretty much what I'm getting to. So okay. Ooh, solstice birthday tomorrow. Hey, Melanie Stevens, happy solstice birthday tomorrow. Ooh, Stephanique, Pastor OMP. Congrats, Stephanique. I didn't see that yet, but everyone, Stephanique has been a moderator for a while, and she passed something she's been trying to pass. Not that she'd failed the first few times, but she'd been nervous about it for a while, so she passed her practical. So round of applause, anyone who's familiar, round of applause for Stephanique. Definitely a fantastic person. I've definitely been a huge help here, and just what I hear is a great being everywhere else. So Oh, hey, Hazel and Juju unmuted. Perfect. Good to see ya. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm sorry you got unmuted before, but thanks, Deja, for unmuting them. Um, okay, guys. So, um, Eepers, I would get things checked out just in case there. I saw that. Um, so, all right, guys. So, I'm going to let you guys know since we have more of our crowd here. So, happy Solstice, Val Chase. Good to see ya. How's the magic you doing? Good to see you again. Miss Ace, yeah, you're welcome. Thank you guys for being here today. Okay, so we are gonna get to Q&A in a bit. I'm actually gonna do I'm gonna do a collective solstice read for kind of the next 6 months, rest of the year. Should I do that now or do Q&A first? Okay, so I'm gonna do Q&A for a bit, I guess, based on what my guides are saying. Hey, how's it going, Dee Gruber? I'm going to do Q&A for a bit, and then we're going to switch to general collective solstice read, and then I have some other surprises and fun things in store, and then we'll get back to Q&A. That's my plan. We'll see how this goes. Hey, Lara, I love something on your live. Hey, good to see you here. Does B feel like we're more than friends? And I am a little. I think he suspects it is more the accurate term. I think he thinks so, but I don't think he's sure. Same I am is the answer to that. Okay, just so you know, guys, I can't get to every question, and I definitely can't get them in order. I'm just going to go with what I'm guided to answer when I'm guided to answer it. I might start to stay away from certain health questions. I'm still kind of deciding on like what to kind of stay away from here, but I'm kind of thinking of switching up the lives a little bit, but we'll see how that goes. For now, I'm just going to go to the questions I'm guided to, and I'll let you know what those are. So I'm just going to answer a few questions, like 3, then we're going to jump to the solstice collective reading, and how many times can I say that in a live? And then then we'll get back to Q&A. All right, so Anna Banana 41. Hey, it's funny. I know you. I'm still getting to that. The Q&A questions for the thank you for 10,000 post. And yours is one of the ones I want to answer. I just haven't gotten to posting it yet, so I apologize about that. Well, the 2 things I manifested today come true. I feel like one of them for sure. I feel like the second one, there's like a yes, but it's like it comes about in a roundabout way, slightly unexpected, and probably a little bit different than you were hoping, but I feel like it's going to be better overall, is what I'd get for you, Anna Banana. Anna Banana 41. I love that username, but hopefully that helps you answer that question. Overall, yes. I feel like you're going to know which one's going to come first. Hope that helps out. Hazel and Juju, I do feel like yes for your question. It might be, I feel like it's going to be okay. Maybe not the best, but it will be okay is what I want to say, just to let you know. Okay, a couple more. Let's see. Mini DVM 73S, will I be in my apartment for a while or find my home? I kind of get both, which is kind of the, of course. You're definitely not going to be in your apartment for forever. I kind of feel like, I mean, I kind of feel like it's a year at least at the apartment. But it's going to change up in the next few years where you have the stability and wherewithal to like find a home is what I want to say, but you will get there. So a bit of both on that one is what I get. Okay, I'm gonna try get to an older one. I got to the wolf sign one. Yellow Ducks 32 is moving going to help me on my path. I get yes overall. I would, if you have old friends, I would stay in touch with them though. I think like there's still more to gain from those relationships from a growth perspective is what I'd want to say. But definitely don't be afraid to move. It's like, I feel like it's time, and I feel like it will help you in a lot of ways, but I wouldn't. The message is coming through. The way it's coming through is like I wouldn't expect everything from it, but I would expect good things. Maybe a few challenges along the way, but I think it's part of a growth process, and the universe is definitely leading you to a better you, Yellow Duck 32. So I hope that helps. Okay. Nope, I already answered this, but anyway, let's go a little bit deeper because I just accidentally like. Rona, am I on the right path? 19333. Body pendulum goes like yes, no, yes. So overall, yes. What they said specifically while I was checking in was that you will get there. I feel like it's just up ahead, and I think it's just like there's just a few realizations where you let a few things go, and then you'll definitely be on the right track. But like, what are you gonna let go? You might have some old friends to let go of, Rona. I think a lot of it's more internal though. I think it's more just like belief systems, but you're well on your way to being on the right path. I hope that makes sense. And like I have this card sitting here and my eyes are pointing to positive shift right here. And I know it's in reverse for you guys, but that just indicates that yes, you're going to positive shift to be on the right track is pretty much what's going to happen there. Anyway, Ingrid Goosen, I'll go, oh, thank you, Delsot. Ingrid Goosen, wolf sign for you. Again, instincts leading you to better is something I was hearing for wolf spirit animal, and it's a spirit animal for you. I think they want to go deeper into crown chakra healing, because like the thing that they're telling me now is like wolf spirit animal is calling on other spirit animals, and like collectively they're kind of healing your crown chakra. I feel like you'll see the results in the months ahead. I don't know what's up with that. I don't know what's up with your. Well, I could ask like what's up with your crown chakra. I think. I feel like a lot of it is also learning to trust and learning that you can do what you want to do. I'm not sure exactly what that means, but that's what I'm hearing. I guess like the other thing they're saying is like you have what it takes to do what you want to do. And this card popped out, deep emotional healing. So if you're going through that, I feel like Wolf is also leading you through the work. So that's a lot of what that means. I know that's like kind of multifaceted, but so it is. Okay, guys, so I want to do a general just Solstice collective read, and then I'll get back to Q&A. So just so you guys know, we're just going to look at the next 6 months. So happy solstice, first of all. We're going to look at like the kind of the energy update reading, some channel messages I have for like 6 months out about the rest of the year, and then. Little Moon 333. I just had my first personal reading with Brandon, and you guys, you have to book a session with him. Oh, thank you. Thanks, Little Moon. It was definitely a joy talking to you. I really enjoyed the reading with you, so I thank you so much for the shout out. Sweet. Okay. So just so you guys know, mods, going to general reading mode. And so this is collected for everyone here, everyone rewatching on YouTube, or anyone who's seeing it for the first time on YouTube. This is going to be for you guys. This is about 6 months out from, you know what? I'm getting it. It's for the time from the time you're seeing it, actually. So if you're seeing this in the future, I actually feel like this is. If you're seeing this within a few months of when I post it, it's a few months out. It could be timeless. You're just going to have to trust yourself. But yeah, I'll get back to more Q&A after this kind of general reading. So let's dive into this Solstice Collective read, shall we? And they might want to channel a message as well, so we'll go into that. So here's what was coming through for just kind of everyone here, everyone watching this video. This is kind of Solstice. This is, for anyone watching in the future, June 20th, 2021, 6 months out, rest of the year. So, or timeless if you're seeing it in the future. So what kind of came through as I was kind of looking at some of the messages that I was kind of channeling messages for the next 6 months for everybody. Hey, Nikki Left Defense, good to see you. First thing that came through was like, stay the course and keep going. Like many of you are on the right track, or you're like on the right track to being on the right track. Or it's like, if you think of like train tracks and like how they kind of like, you know, they have those switches and the tracks kind of merge. It's like everyone's kind of like on the track to be on the right track, or they're already on the right track up ahead, if that makes sense, on their path. And everyone's right where they need to be. There's no rush or race because the trains need to get there on time. You don't have to get there ahead of the other train, and you might throw things off if you're on the wrong track, if that makes sense. But no one's on the wrong track. Everything's taken care of. Essentially, like, I would just say, like, if you stay the course and kind of let the universe shift things for you, and like flow with the changes, you're going to naturally kind of like flow around the obstacles. It's kind of like if you stay, like, yeah, you can kind of choose your path. You can choose like some certain like train tracks up ahead, to keep going with the train track analogy, like to go more in a direction that's to your liking, that's still along the same vein. But everyone's kind of been like redirected a bit with like with the solstice, with the eclipses, towards more of their destiny, I want to say, towards more of like I guess like fated events, things that are more soul-led. And people are kind of being nudged that direction in general, like throughout the rest of this year. And even like, I think early next year, that's going to keep happening. So definitely, like, if you feel like you're more on the right track for you, or you're getting there, definitely like keep going that direction, because like you're right, if that makes sense. It's like, you're not wrong about that. So keep going, keep chugging along. You're right on pace, you're right on track. No one's behind, and no one's really going to be left behind. Like, if you feel like you're a train that's like broken down, like the universe is sending the repair crew, it's okay to take a day to like rest, to like have your train repaired, so to speak. Don't worry too much. And like, there's a quote from gotta bring Lee Harris in, guys, because that's like, my guys love to have me quote Lee Harris. One of the things that he said is like, this was on my mind earlier, so it's another reason it's coming up. I think they prime me for these things sometimes. Was he said, like, this was like 2019 or 2020. He's like, if you're tired, rest. The mission is already taken care of. So it's like, if you need a day, like, take a day. If you need a week, it's okay to take a week. But don't take too long, just long enough to get yourself recharged and take care of yourself, because self-care is only going to get more important in the years ahead, is what I'm hearing. And the more you can master that now, I think the safer the trajectories will be for you. Like, there will just be less burnout, less crashing, and more of the divine plan unfolding, I want to say, if you're taking care of yourself and taking care of your body. And your meat suit is what I'm hearing, because it's an important part of your journey. It's definitely a part of you while you're here, and it's important to take care of this one body you get this lifetime, if that makes sense. So next point that was coming through, a lot more friendship energy. So if you felt lonely, I think that's coming to an end. And yeah, coronavirus stuff is kind of lifting. So I think, I feel like you're gonna have more friends, most of you, or like more opportunities for friendship and people who resonate with you on a soul level. I think the universe has been rearranging things and is rearranging things to, oh yeah, you would text me right now, wouldn't you? Sorry. So, sorry, I've been getting all these signs about this one person who might reach out, and they just texted me. So, anyways, speaking of friendship, potentially, friendship energy, on the rise. You're being led to people who are on your soul resonance, is what I'm trying to get to. You're meant to have friendship, all you beautiful beings here, and you're meant to have people who get you. So pay attention to those people who say the things that kind of like get you, perk your ears up. Like if you're a dog and someone says something, like someone opens a bag of chips, or I don't know, some dogs like cheese. You open the cheese package and like the ears kind of like, pay attention to like phrases or words if someone says something spiritual and you're spiritual, or if you're like a goth and someone like starts talking about goth stuff and you're like, just pay attention to those people, and just don't be afraid to be friendly. It's okay to be a little bit cautious if you feel like you've been wounded in the past, but don't be afraid to make new friends, as things like kind of lift, is pretty much what I'd say. Jessica Lynn, that was cool. They texted right then. Yeah, it was funny. Like, I've been seeing this person's last name like everywhere. I'm like, oh, she's gonna reach out again. So it's all good. Another thing, the next point, people finally getting out and about. I already kind of goth stuff, yay, Deja. That's Deja's into the goth stuff. Goth stuff is cool. I have a respect for it. I can't say I've been goth. I've been like into metal stuff, but goth hasn't been my thing. But I don't judge it. I think it's totally cool to gravitate towards the things you love in one way, shape, form, or another. So people finally getting out and about is another thing in the next 6 months that's going to be coming up for people. Excuse the text noises, everybody. Um, they can be synchronistic, the little noise after I say something. So the restrictions are going to lift. People are also just like kind of not, like they do care. Like people feel a bit safer with the vaccine out. That's a whole other conversation. But essentially, like people getting out and about more, that's pretty self-explanatory. I feel like late summer, especially midsummer, I feel like fall and winter things are going to be pretty, like restrictions pretty lifted, but I think like late next year, back to the new normal pretty fully. Another message, and I'm going to delve into this more, is reboots for the next 6 months. So what's up with reboots? I feel like things are getting rebooted and restarted. I think it's more like a computer where it's like, and they're kind of showing me jet lag too. So let me ask them to piece these messages together. So let's say a computer has been processing all this like coronavirus stuff, and like there's like been all this like potentially like fear thrown around because of it, and just in the maybe in the collective, and it's like it's finally it's like things are kind of getting rebooted where like the fear doesn't have as much of an effect. It's a bit more muted, and people are kind of seeing the truth a bit more. And anything that's kind of been like fragmented, or like if things have been running too long, or like certain programs have been running too long, and like the human faculties of each of you here, like you're kind of finally going to get the reboots you need to reset in the right ways. And it's not like you're starting over. It's more like you like yeah, save all the files you need to save, guys, in your memory banks or whatever. But like you're not going to be like reset to zero, unless you're talking about 0 point consciousness, I guess. It's more like you're being recentered and like made re-capable to handle the world again, and like going forward into motion where things aren't as stagnant, things aren't as stuck anymore. So it's kind of like it's like the reboot people need to work out the bugs from, not that there are ever bugs from etheric upgrades, but it's just like reacquainting yourself with civilization, I guess, getting out there more and interacting with people. But I think the world is kind of rebooting and restarting, and not from zero, but just defragmenting and coming back to operational capacity in a greater sense, so to speak. So if you feel like things kind of like, I don't know, like if the show Friends got a reboot, it's still like, it's just like an upgraded version of the show. So so think Earth 2.0. I think they're showing me like 3.0. I think we're just kind of like, I feel like Earth is just going to keep expanding and upgraded energetically. So, but next 6 months, just pay attention to any like kind of like reboot energies for the highest good. And again, not starting over, just recentering and defragmenting. Another thing, things won't be the same. And in parentheses, they said finally. So, it's pretty much just like if you felt like the world needed to change, I feel like that shift was the coronavirus, is what I'm hearing. And it seems like an odd catalyst is what they're saying. But in the events that play out in the domino effect from that virus and like the world events, things are going to be different in a good way. It's just going to take time to see that. I think next 6 months you're going to see some of those results. So you're going to kind of like, it's like kind of like new normal are the words they're showing me. So it's like things won't be the same finally. A lot of people got an upshift and an upgrade, and a lot of people are going to come out into the world more spiritual and more ready for like a new paradigm and a new way of doing things, and like kind of rebuilding society is what I'm getting. And that's subtle, that's on an energetic level, but I think you're going to see some restructuring of like the powers that be a little bit, is what I'm hearing, in the future. That might not be just the next 6 months. I think that might be a bit further out, but that's what I'm hearing right now. And then right under this is a new normal, is what they channeled through after that. So I feel like that's kind of self-explanatory going from that to that. So you're going to find a new normal on the rise. I think there's definitely an increase in spirituality. I actually feel like, and maybe not every single place you look, but I feel like there's going to be an increase in caring, and an increase in people coming together, and celebrating that more than like previously, when you can finally just like be with your friends without worry. And some of you might have already been doing that. That's totally cool. But I think it's just like finally like you can go to concerts, or you can like gather in a crowd, or it's just going to be a little bit awkward at first, maybe, but it's going to be more celebrated for a while. But things won't be the same, is pretty much to cap that up, to recant that, I guess. Another message that came through, I have a few now that I'm like going through this. So trust upshift. So any upgrades you got are here to stay. And if you're kind of working out how to operate with like an increased energetic awareness or more intuition, that's just going to come in more naturally, because like I feel like that's everyone kind of got an upshift in one way, shape, or form. Excuse me. And so I think things are actually going to continue upshifting a bit. So as things upshift, trust it, because it's like things won't be the same, and it might take time to get used to it. But I feel like in a year you guys will really know what I'm talking about, is pretty much what I'm hearing right now. But trust any upgrades and upshifts. It's really like for the better. And anything that fell away, by the way, guys, they're adding in like is definitely for the better. Next point, bridging gaps is what I'm hearing. People starting to understand differences at least a little. So what that's about is like if there's been any like people who are just like there's just misunderstandings, there's clashing, there's like it's like I actually heard 5 of Swords energy, but they were showing me 5. I think it was actually 7 of Wands. They were showing me energy. Yeah, like if you have like that, and those cards are about like a bit about conflict. Pretty much. Why are you even commenting? So pretty much. People from different backgrounds, from different, I'm hearing polarities, are going to start to bridge that gap and come into a coherence and a common language, so to speak, where like people can finally see more eye to eye, where before like one person might be talking up here, another's talking down here. It's like there's more dots connecting, or there's like an etheric, I don't like the word chord just because of some of the connotations, but like there's like etheric bridges or lines where people are going to start understanding each other more intuitively. So it's like even if they're not speaking the exact same English or language verbally, where they have different words for different things, people are going to be starting to understand more telepathically what the other is saying. And as such, it's easier to bridge gaps of understanding, because you will be able to understand what the other is saying and where they are coming from, where previously people were blinded by their own beliefs. And as you are able to see where people are coming from, there is a little less hostility, because you can see why someone has those beliefs and why they are thinking what they are thinking. So when you see that people are coming from that place, you can see that there's a bit more of a bridge, for neither of you are coming from a completely closed standpoint where you do not see where the other is coming from, but can find a common ground where you realize why the other is coming from, where the other is coming from, and kind of meet in the middle to kind of form an understanding. And from there, you can find the truth and find a bit more understanding and a bit less conflict. And that might take a while to fully come into play. I know they went into channel mode there for a second, more fully. Deja, damn source really just said, let me handle this. Yeah, that was definitely, yeah. The guy had stepped in. But essentially, like, so it'll take a little bit of a while to see that play out more, but in the years ahead, people are going to be more intuitive, more in tune, and less conflicty, just because they'll realize it's not worth it to just fight. I actually, a weird side message, self-sabotage is going to be dwindling. I don't know who that's for, but that's for you guys. So a next point, peace. Actually, no. So the next point actually is conflict. Funny enough, they're showing me like a 5 of Swords tarot card for that energy. So what do they want to say about conflict? So while conflict is rising in some ways, kind of on this point, and you might see pockets of it, and that's on the world stage and maybe in personal lives, it won't last, is another thing that they're saying. I think late next year, conflict energy will start to dwindle a bit more and be a bit more suppressed energetically. A lot of it's just clearing out old things if you see conflict on the rise. So one thing they're saying is do your best to kind of bite your tongue if you feel the urge to lash out at someone immediately. Give yourself like 5 to 10 minutes or 15 even to cool down, and then approach the conversation. I think the less conflict, my gosh, you're bringing into your personal relationships, the less you'll see around you, like even on like the world stage. Well, let me clarify. They're kind of giving me they're redirecting me on this one. It's like the less you bring conflict energy to others, it's going to make a little bit too much sense, I think. The less you'll have around you, the less you'll see in the world. I feel like it's just like less of a domino effect that way. That's kind of what I Be divine, conflict, growth, opportunity. I hear that. I hear that. I know you don't always have to have conflict for growth, but that definitely can be the case. What you're saying, I totally see. Um, yes, pretty much. Yeah. um, what you said is definitely. I do see how it is on point. They're like, yeah, what you said is pretty on point. So yeah. And I'm definitely not trying to shoot you down. I'm just, yes, I'm trying to agree. My gosh. Sorry to make that awkward. Anyways, peace and healing energy. Next points. While there's conflict arising, I think internally and like externally, you're also going to see additional pockets of peace and healing energy as like conflicts come to a close. They're kind of showing me Archangel Raphael spearheading that kind of worldwide, because they're just showing me like green light and they're showing me Archangel Raphael, and I'm just going to say what I'm seeing and what they're telling me. You're just going to see more peace and more healing energy, like more healers, more people who want to bring healing, and people who just want conflict to end. And there might be a few headaches for some of you, just like dealing with world events is kind of what I'm hearing. But overall, you're going to be okay. Just stay the course. But peace and healing are going to be on the rise soon. So keep a lookout for that in your personal lives. Next point. Anything too rough is not going to stick around. So any rough spots in life or any like friction is kind of what they're showing me. Or if like you're like kind of rubbing up against other people and like something about the energy is a little bit hostile or just not quite to your liking. A lot of the rough stuff isn't going to last too long the rest of the year. I think it's a bit of a lighter, brighter energy. And there might be some dips in that, unfortunately, or some of you might say, but it's definitely going to be okay. And I feel like a lot of you are going to end out the year better than you came into it in one way, shape, or another. Just realize if you hit a rough spot, not going to be forever, maybe like a couple months, like at most, if it's like really rough, but a lot of you definitely going to be okay in this time period, if not good. Next point, you won't have to try as hard, results will flow. I think smooth like butter is kind of like, or like a hot knife through butter, that's what they're showing me. So like if you've been working on anything, I feel like it's kind of like a roller coaster that gets to the top of the roller coaster thing. And like, you know, it hits that tipping point and it just kind of goes down and like it's kind of good the rest of the ride. So it's kind of like if you've been grinding or if you've been pushing or if you feel like stuff has been rough, I feel like you're kind of at that top of that roller coaster point where it's like you, instead of having to push the roller coaster up the hill, it's like it's going to start to flow a bit more and be a bit more fun and exciting. So keep an eye out for that. I think results will flow based on what they said here. Next point, they want me to go back to the last one. Don't be afraid to try is something that they're saying. Like you want to try as hard, but like the more effort you put into like passion projects or things you want to see in your life, like the better. Definitely water your gardens, like personally, internally, and externally. Now's a good time to like push ahead. That's pretty much what I'm hearing. So do that. Next, divine guidance rising. So people are going to be more in tune than ever before is what I'm hearing. So a lot of you and a lot of people around you will just be a bit more divinely guided and in tune and more realizing of their connection to everything and to source. They might not have that exact word for it, but that's what I'm getting here is I feel like a lot of people need more divine guidance and they're realizing they can access it for themselves. Even if they don't fully comprehend or have the words for what they're doing, it's just going to kind of start to percolate and be more on the rise for everyone as an energy for the collective. So I would trust anything you're feeling, honestly. And the side point for that, or the underscore here that they wanted to add on to that, was people realizing their gifts and magic. So that's going to be happening next 6 months and like even a few years out. I think like that's just really coming up to a headway. I feel like 2025, a lot of people are going to be way more magical than ever before. That's like worldwide. Just like people just kind of hitting new highs, new elevations, even new gifts and like potentially things people haven't seen before. But like everyone's going to be realizing a lot of what they can do here and how they can have an impact in their own way is pretty much what I'm hearing. So that's what I'm getting. Also, a lot more tarot readers was the next point. So there might be a lot more tarot readers coming. coming out of the woodwork, I guess. I don't know. I guess that plays in with the previous point. Next points. And a lot more people realizing they're intuitive, I guess. Next point, new trajectories locking in. So I think I talked about this previously earlier in the live. There's just going to be a lot more people. If you feel like you've been shifted recently, that's just going to keep like being solidified, and they are showing me uplifting. Doesn't mean everything's always going to be easy. It's just like the trajectory that's right for you is going to get locked in a bit more. If it's not right, you're probably going to get bumped in the right directions until you're in the right direction for you, if that makes sense. But if you feel like you've been bumped recently, that's not an accident. They're showing me Bob Ross with like the happy accidents things. So, and they're saying any mistakes you made are actually happy accidents. And I've definitely seen that play out where like I've made a mistake or seemingly made a mistake, and then like it just turned out to be a very divinely orchestrated mistake that really actually turned out better than if I'd just done things flawlessly to my human mind. So just keep an eye out for that. So next thing, I want to ask for clarity on this one, because the next point is most people won't miss a beat coming back to world. I feel like most people already have plans for when things open up. A lot of people are already on their new trajectories, and what I'm hearing is like the world opening up again might just be a happy surprise, because I feel like it's almost all at once. It's kind of like sometimes you wake up on like a new month or a new like just like usually astrologically there's something going on, and like the whole energy is different, and like you're just like, oh, I feel different, everything seems different, like everyone's acting like what is going on. And I feel like that's definitely going to be happening this year like a few more times, is kind of what I feel. So keep an eye out for that. I think keep doing the do. And they want to add in everything's divinely orchestrated. If you could think of like bumps in the road as like they're kind of showing me an orchestral score, like a crescendo. Sometimes it's just part of the melody at play, and it makes sense rhythmically, universally, if you look at it from a grander perspective, if that makes sense. Weird side message is like everything's melodic, like rhythmic, and has an energetic harmony to it, is what I'm hearing. And like whether that's dissonant or harmonious, it's part of the orchestra and the soundtrack. Does that make any sense? It's a bit of a music analogy for you, I guess. Next point, I think you guys will like this one. God not letting things mess up. So God not letting things mess up. Definitely divine intervention. Again, another message, if you feel like you messed up, you didn't. If you feel like you messed up, you didn't. And like, I don't feel like the universe, God, source is going to really let you mess things up too terribly. Like free will, yes, that's a thing. But I think you're going to find the roadblocks are a bit more firm if it's the wrong direction. And the flow and ease is going to be a bit more there for the right direction. I just think the universe is going to be a bit more adamant that you take your divine pathway. And of course, you're not limited and you're not restricted. That's just what I'm hearing right now for this group. And I think a lot of you want that. But you can definitely talk to God and and kind of set up your own rules if you're not happy about that. Don't know why I'm laughing, but I guess like the message is you're not going to mess things up, is what I want to say. And like, even if there's a minor detour, it's okay. Ashley Rizalk 92. Will my husband adopt my daughter? I feel like yes, but you might have to encourage him. Sorry, I interrupted the general reading, but I saw that and I wanted to answer it. So, anyways, next point. If things get rocky, it won't last. I think I already said that. Like if things get rough, it won't last. But so I guess that's a two. They wanted to double hit that. I think that's worldwide actually. I think that's kind of what worldwide. If things get rocky, it won't last. What I'm hearing is like it's not time for another pandemic. It's not World War III is something I'm hearing. It's gonna be okay. So trust the outcomes right now. I don't feel like things are going to be rocky for a long time, especially in the grand scheme. Next point, war not supported is what I just heard. Interesting. So the words I'm getting are there might be some conflict energy, but war is not supported. Take that as you will. I hear it's not time for that. I feel like people want peace. People pray for peace. People manifest peace, and that's going to have an impact. Interesting message. So like war is not supported, and that's internal as well. So be prepared for conflict resolution inside yourself. Okay. So last 2 points here that I have, people feeling free. That makes sense. Next 6 months. I think just like people are making moves for freedom. People want more freedom in their lives. And I think a lot of people are realizing their old lives were restricting based on what I'm hearing. So pay attention to what you can do to bring more freedom into your life. It is importante, and they're saying it's important. So I feel like you're going to feel more free in general. I think there's multiple things, but that can be personal, and it might not have to do with everything going on around you, or it could have everything to do with everything going around you. It's going to be different for each of you, and everyone for whom this resonates with and who this is for. Last point, and there might be a few more that add in, but don't jump to conclusions. And what's that about? I feel like there's a lot that's going to change. I think that's within yourselves and just in the collective and in the world ahead. There's just a lot of change this decade. And I feel like the world just won't ever be the same past 2030 is the message they're bringing through. I was going to say that's the current trajectory, but they said that's pretty locked in, and it's for the better. Weird message is like, and I take this as it resonates. I wouldn't take this super literally, but they're like, no one's going to be sad about what happens by 2040. I think things are just going to be a lot lighter, and like the earth is on that trajectory. And even if like the growth and the light and brightness slows down for periods of time, they won't stop. They'll slow down for a little bit and like let things percolate and bloom and blossom and grow more support for further expanded brightness and lightening up of the collective and of the earth is what I'm getting. So don't let things get you down. I feel like the world's going to try and pick you back up if you do get down in one way, shape, form, or another. Those are the channel messages I have. Oh, excuse me. I'm going to be a big stretchy boy right here. Oh my gosh. Rise, Strong, Transform. Amazing personal reading from you, Brandon. Oh, thank you so much, Rise, Strong, Transform. Yeah, I really enjoyed that reading too. That was, I'm grateful you reached out, and I'm wishing you the best in everything you asked me about. But thanks for shouting me out here on the live. Stretch and grow, yes. Ooh. Thank you. So that's what I have for the Solstice collective reading as far as this. There's a few more things, and one that my guides want me to get to. They might have you skip the second thing I prepared, but that's okay. And I want to see if they have any more points they want to add in. They're like, not really, that kind of hit it. So, but they do want to channel, and I want to see what they bring through. And they're saying it's going to be a gentle channeling, so I don't know what that means, but let's see what they want to do. Hydrate, thank you. Great idea. I'm going to drink some kombucha too. Try not to swallow in everyone's ears. Too cool to party ghoul. How can we with mental issues like anxiety connect to spirit guides? Is it almost impossible? Not at all. A lot of very connected people tend to feel very anxious, but it's usually just not yours. It's just kind of like you're picking up on collective anxiety or that of those around you. Usually just a few people around you. I've noticed there's a lot of anxious people people who identify as anxious that are actually very gifted. So I would say you're not limited if you feel anxious. Sorry, I just wanted to get that out there. So back to the solstice celebration, and then we'll get right to Q&A for a time. But I wanted to do a pick a blessing for the next 6 months. So it's 1, 2, and 3, and there's kind of like multiple for each number. So you don't have to comment if you want to, sure, but take a second and just whatever you feel, whatever your guides say, whatever your divine guidance says, whatever your intuition says, whatever you feel drawn to, pick 1, 2, or 3 if you want to participate. And this is a blessing for the next 6 months. I promise it's all positive. And then I'll kind of read through 1, 2, and 3. So take a second. I'm going to take a sip of kombucha. You guys can choose what you want to, and then we're just gonna, and it will manifest is pretty much what I just heard. If anyone likes kombucha, this GT is like spring. The bloom is, I'm not just saying that because that's also my last name. It's one of my favorite flavors. I love it. It's anyways. I need another sip this end. Hold on. Okay. Yeah, who said they love that stuff? High five. East Coast girl. High five. All right, hopefully everyone's got their number. Pick a blessing. 1, 2, 3. And I'm going to give you 5 more seconds to choose. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So if you picked number 1, your blessings are, you won't be able to read it because it's reversed, isn't it? Truth, clarity, and healing for number 1. Truth in yourselves and around you. Clarity, I feel like that's in your path and in your trajectory. And even just things about you that you are confused about. I feel like other people are actually going to help you with that. Excuse me. And then the third thing for number 1, this is still number 1, is healing. So deep emotional healing, internal work paying off, like finally kind of hitting this, I'm hearing new plateau, but it's not a bad thing. It's like you hit a new level where like things are kind of like, I feel like raise the baseline, or you're just feeling better overall, like just that emotional healing or whatever healing resonates for you in your situation if you pick number 1. Number 2, the blessings are abundance, romance, and peace. So, and that's increased romance if you're already in a relationship, by the way. That's but number 2, abundance, whatever area you need it, and whatever areas you're asking for right now, I feel like there's going to be an increase. Just whatever makes you feel abundant, whatever abundance is to you in your personal definition, and in the ways the universe kind of, in addition to that, the ways the universe deems would be best for you is what I'm hearing. Abundance definitely kind of upticking for you in the next 6 months. And I do feel like a lot of these blessings will continue. I don't think they're going to have a sharp cutoff at 6 months from now, like at exactly December 20th or whatever month. Romance, just an increase of that. Meeting more people, a crush asking you out potentially. I'm not going to promise anything, guys. Keep in mind it's general. Just pay attention to that energy being there is more what I want to say. And then peace, I think that's a lot of inner peace, or there might be inner healing leading to peace, or just realizations where like you step outside and you're like, oh, this is so much more peaceful than I remember it being. I think it's just like that energy is going to percolate and show up for you in one way, shape, form, or another. So that's blessing number 2. Blessing number 3 for the next 6 months. If you chose number 3, trust, knowing, and upgrades. So if you've had trouble trusting, if you're trying to improve your spiritual gifts, trust can be a very big superpower is what I'm hearing. If you trust, like you can kind of do anything, if that makes sense, because you're not second guessing or doubting. You're just like going with the flow, you're trusting, and like the universe just has an easier time bringing you what you need is what I'm hearing. So that's actually a bigger blessing than, oh, thanks be divine for the roses. I appreciate you. Knowing, I feel like that's access to your intuition, access to your inner knowing, and just like a blossoming of awareness, and just like, I'm actually hearing inner peace for you as well. I think knowing can lead to inner peace, but I don't know. I guess these all kind of interconnect in one shape, form, or another. But just pay attention to knowing, or like just knowing on the rise. You're going to have that. I feel like there's a lot of clear cognizance in this group with the people here. And then upgrades, that's spiritual, that's energetic. I feel like you're going to be more potent with your manifesting here, group 3. And also just like if you're not into that, it's going to be around you in your life. You're going to have upgrades in one way, shape, form, or another in the next 6 months. So pay attention to that. But that's what I have, guys. I feel like that kind of concludes that aspect of the solstice celebration. I did have like more general readings for like the different elements, like if you're sign like sun, moon, rising, fire, earth, air, water. I might hold off just because my guys are telling me to hold off, and if we want to do that at the end, I'm going to keep going with the broadcast. We're not. We can do some Q&A and do some other stuff too. But that's like that general portion. You are so welcome, guys. Jacqueline Torres, you're welcome. Little Moon, you are so welcome. You're welcome. East Coast GRL. Buckley Picks, you're welcome. You guys are so welcome. Thanks for hanging out, and I'm grateful you are here to I'm just grateful for you guys. I'm so grateful. I'm grateful for the moderators, Deja, Stephanique, Kylie Dosty, I haven't seen in a while, but still grateful for her. Be Divine, did I say Deja twice? Space Face, when you're here. You guys have been lifesavers. You guys have been very, very helpful, and I think even in ways I don't even see in the chat sometimes. So I just want to say thank you so much for you guys and for helping me out and being the blessed beings you are. Because I feel like each of you is magical in your own right, and some of you don't realize it. But and not to say anyone else isn't, but this is definitely moderator appreciation moment. So thanks for hanging out with me every Sunday. It means a lot, and I'm grateful for you guys. Yeah, I'm going to hold off on like any more general reading stuff. Let's get to some Q&A, and I'll pull some cards for people if you want. And let's, oh, thanks so much, Jordan Lee. I really appreciate that. Oh, thanks, Little Moon. I appreciate the confetti. Thanks, Be Divine. I appreciate it. Song of Grace, I feel like you'll get into a school that's really close to the one you want. Maybe not physically, but like as far as like prestige and energetically, you'll get into, I do feel like you'll get into a good school. Is it going to be the exact one you want? It might not be, but that doesn't mean don't try. Keep trying to get into that. Saga Grace, by the way. Also, Saga Grace, this card popped out. Be you. Be unapologetically you. Shine your lights, even if it's different, even if you feel broken. I don't feel like you actually are. I think you have so much more to give to the world, and I feel like you have a lot of hope ahead. I feel like you're on the right path. So that's what I get for you, Saga Grace. I hope you're well. All right, so yeah, down to some Q&A. Guys, just to update, I'm gonna go with the questions I'm guided to go to. There's a lot, and it's very difficult for me to get to everything, and I definitely, the way this works out, I can't do it in order. So I'm just gonna do my best to go to the ones I'm drawn to, and we'll go from there. Oh, these cards I had an interesting kombucha overflow, and some of my cards are a little stuck together here. Anyways. It's Sizzy, 17. Is there anything my guides want me to know? This message, ceremonies and celebrations. Celebrate you is the message. You're celebrating. Also, heightened intuition came out. So, oh, and we have a whole bunch of cards. Okay. 2 cards popped out that really are kind of jumping out at me. Self-confidence and through God confidence. So I feel like you're going to become more confident in the near future is the message I'm getting. So don't give up on anything you want to do. And I do remember you from the reading this past week. So, but that's also the message coming through. Love life. You will have romance. Don't freak out is what I'm getting. It might not be who you expect, but I do feel like you're going to have a good one. So that's the message they're giving. And don't be afraid to do any heart healing you need to do right now. Even if that's just meditating with your hands over your heart and you're just like, I accept whatever heart healing would be highest and best for me to receive from the divine, from the angels, from God, whatever your semblance of higher power, that can be powerful. Just hang in there. So another thing I'm hearing is you're going to be supported in everything you want to do. Just let life lead you, because you're going to be taken in the right direction. So that's what I get for you at Sizzy. So I hope that helps and expands on any messages you need. Katerina, will my anxiety ever stop? I get, or lessen anytime soon, especially lessen. You will have periods of peace. I do feel like it will stop. it's going to take a little bit of time based on what I'm hearing. Um, you will have peace is what they're saying. I don't know if you already do energy work, but they're saying something like the more you get into energy work of some form, and it doesn't have to take over your life, I feel like the more that will lessen. Reiki's a good one, or just something that's peace oriented and relaxing and can help you flow a bit more is kind of the terms they're giving me. You will have your anxiety lessen, yes. And don't be afraid to just keep manifesting it and asking for it, because I feel like that will be successful. And I think when you learn to work with manifesting as a tool, you realize you can apply it energetically in any area, even like in emotional, they're saying emotional development, so I don't know why they want to say it that way, but you can definitely apply it to any area of your life, not just like, I want a Nintendo Switch or whatever the kids want these days. Sorry, I don't know why I'm cracking. I don't know if I'm feeling someone else laughing or if I'm just cracking myself up right now. Probably a bit of both based on what my guides are saying, but I hope that helps, Katerina. The answer is yes, and I know I went into detail, but one thing I'm hearing is you're not going to be alone in your endeavors. I don't know what that means, but I hope that helps. Okay. Sometimes when I go to switch it and it keeps... I feel like your intuition is either very high or it's going to be, Katerina. And I don't want to say that's part of the problem, because I definitely don't encourage people to ever... I would encourage you to keep your intuition open, but is all of your anxiety yours? I would realize not all of your anxiety is yours is pretty much what I want to say. I hope that helps. But I'm also hearing energy work will help. Again, they want to reiterate that, so that's the message for you. I hope you're doing great. Tina Maldonado 08 asked, I'm searching for my purpose. Oh, this card popped out, spiritual path. Your true beliefs are becoming clear to you, which prompts you to make necessary life changes. So I don't think the description on this card is... sorry, I got distracted by another question. My guides are like, answer it. Susan Martinez is D being sincere with me? Not fully, is what I get. Weird message is D is trying to be sincere with you, but isn't always great at it. So they're saying you know what to do, Susan Martinez. So you know what to do. Anyway, you can Gert, hey, how are you doing? How are you doing? Good to see ya. Tina Maldonado, I'm searching for my purpose. Spiritual path popped out. Your purpose is actually very spiritual based on what I'm hearing. And it's going to be a bit different, by the way, for each of you listening, if you feel like this is something that applies to you. But what your purpose has a lot to do with who you are, and it already shows up in everything you do in one way, shape, form, or another. And I apologize. If I pause, I'm listening to what my guides are saying. It already shows up for you in one way, shape, form, or another. Your purpose is unique. This unconventionality Moldavite card popped out, and they said your purpose is unique. And then answered prayers popped out. What's that about? I actually feel like you'll discover it.